Have you ever felt like you're broken? Have you ever felt like you're not good enough or that you don't belong? Have you ever felt less valuable than others? If you answered yes to any of these questions, this story is for you. Once upon a time, a poor farmer had two pots. One was old and cracked, and the other was new and perfect. He carried water on his head and balanced them on his shoulders. Every day he took them to the market to sell vegetables. The old, cracked pot was ashamed of its crack. It felt bad about itself because it couldn't hold water like the other pot. It thought it was useless. It would leak water along the way to the market. This made the pot feel sad and worthless. The new pot was proud of itself. It thought it was better than the cracked pot. It looked down on the cracked pot and said, "You're not as good as me. You have a crack and are very weak." The cracked pot felt more sad after hearing this. It started to cry. Tears rolled down its side and splashed onto the ground. The new pot laughed at the cracked pot and said, "Look at you crying. Why are you so weak?" Meanwhile, the farmer didn't care about the crack. He didn't think it was a big deal. He knew both pots were important and they each had their own strengths. After all, he had been using the cracked pot for years and it had never broken. Sure, it leaked a bit, but that didn't bother him. One day, the farmer was carrying the pots to the market. The new pot said to the cracked pot, "Why don't you just break completely? That way you won't have to be ashamed of your crack anymore." The cracked pot felt very sad, but it didn't say anything. It knew the new pot didn't understand how it felt. When they reached the market, the farmer put the pots down. He took some vegetables out of the market and put them into the pots. Then he covered them with some cloth and took them back home. Along the way, the new pot kept insulting the cracked pot. But this time, the cracked pot didn't cry. It just kept quiet. As they walked, some seeds fell out of the cloth covering the pots. They fell onto the ground and sprouted into beautiful flowers. The new pot was surprised. "How are these flowers growing here? Where did they come from?" it asked the cracked pot. The cracked pot replied calmly, "Some seeds fell out of the cloth covering us. They landed on the ground and started to grow." The new pot still didn't understand. So the cracked pot explained, "You see, when I leak water, some of it lands on the ground. These seeds get water from my leaks and that's how they grow." The new pot was shocked. It didn't know that the water leaking from the cracked pot was actually helping the flowers grow. It felt ashamed for being mean to the cracked pot. The cracked pot continued, "I may not be perfect, but I can do something that you can't. I can help these flowers grow. I bring life to the dry earth." The new pot felt very embarrassed. It wanted to apologize to the cracked pot, but it didn't know how. Suddenly, the farmer spoke up. He said, "The new pot, why are you putting the cloth back on? Let's keep it open so the flowers can grow." The new pot understood what the farmer meant. It was time for it to let go of its pride and accept itself for what it was. The next day, the farmer went to the market again. He put the vegetables in the pots and covered them with the cloth. As they walked, the new pot said to the cracked pot, "I'm sorry I was mean to you. I didn't know that your cracks could create such beautiful things." The cracked pot smiled and said, "We each have our own special abilities, your sharp edges and my cracks. We're both important in our own ways." The new pot apologized again and said, "I'll never laugh at you again, I promise." The cracked pot smiled and said, "It's okay, I understand. You didn't know then what you know now." When they reached the market, the farmer put the pots down and uncovered them. To his surprise, even more flowers had grown overnight. The colors were amazing and the smell was wonderful. The people at the market were impressed by the beautiful flowers. Many of them wanted to buy the flowers, but the farmer didn't sell them. Instead, he took them back home. The farmer's wife was very happy when she saw the flowers. She said, "My goodness, these are so pretty. We should plant them in our garden." So the farmer and his wife replanted the flowers in their garden. Every day they took care of the plants, watered them, and sang to them. As the days passed, the flowers grew bigger and more beautiful. Their colors were bright and cheerful, making everyone who saw them smile. The news of the amazing flowers spread throughout the village. People came from far away to see them. The farmer and his wife were happy to share their flowers with everyone. One day, a wise woman visited the garden. She looked at the flowers and asked the farmer, "How did these unique flowers grow here?" The farmer replied, "It's a miracle. I don't know exactly how it happened." The wise woman smiled and said, "It's not a miracle. It's the result of accepting yourself for who you are. Your pots are not perfect, but their imperfections created these beautiful flowers." The wise woman continued, "We often try to be perfect, but it's our flaws that make us truly special. The cracked pot doesn't hold water as much as the other pot, but that doesn't make it useless. In fact, it's through its cracks that these special flowers grew. The new pot is perfect, but it hasn't done anything special yet. The cracked pot has already created something beautiful." The farmer and his wife thought about what the wise woman said. They realized that she was right. They thanked the wise woman for her visit and went back to taking care of their flowers. From that day on, the farmer took extra care of both pots. He understood that they were both important in their own ways. The cracked pot continued to leak water, and the new pot held water tightly. Together, they worked in harmony. And whenever the farmer needed more flowers, he knew just what to do. The moral of this story is that our flaws can create unexpected beauty. Sometimes we think our weaknesses make us less valuable, but they can actually be our greatest strengths. Embracing what makes us different allows us to shine in our unique ways. Thank you for listening to the story of the cracked pot. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please consider subscribing to our channel. We publish new stories every week, and if you'd like to support us, you can do so through the provided means. Your support helps us continue creating quality content. Thank you, and until next time, happy reading.